We have a cozy day today, and it's a beautiful fall morning and a beautiful fall day. And this vlog takes place within a week's time, just because I'm so busy and can't get to everything in one day. Starting my morning off with some black coffee, which is what I usually do, and it's usually how I take my coffee. I am filling up Titus's Q-tip container. I keep them in bulk in the linen closet, and then I refill as needed. And then I am going into the bedroom to paint the girls' bedroom floor. We decided to do no carpet for right now and give it a fresh coat of paint. It's not hard. The hardest part is cleaning the floor, making sure that there's no hair or a lint on the floor. But that fresh coat of paint really makes all the difference in the world. And I'm going to give you a good view of the contrast of freshly painted floor and a floor that is 4 years old that has been painted. I am painting it the same sheen and color as the girls' baseboards, so there's no cutting in, and it just makes it a little bit easier. We have a TV screen that we watch movies on. Now, it's not used as a TV. We have a chip that my brother-in-law adds movies to, and we just keep it plugged into the back of the screen, and it serves as a movie screen with no DVD player because you have the chip. And we have all kinds of old movies on there, and it's nice because you have control over what's being played on the screen. And then also there's no clutter for DVDs. It's nice because you have no DVDs and it's not taking up a bunch of space and drawers for the DVDs to be stored in and organized. And so I have decided to frame the girls' screen out. A frame TV is so expensive, and I think this cost around $35, $40, somewhere in between there. And Tara wanted to come over and watch Titus and see how he cut for the screen when he measured. She wasn't quite sure, so that's why she's here. Titus is measuring, and she wanted to watch. So I went to Lowe's and picked out some trim. Now, this took place over about 4 days just because we were so busy. But today we are cutting the trim, and then I took it out and spray painted it gold. That way it was just easier to work with because I'm going to add some rub and buff to this framing and make it look a little bit old.
Tell me when. Okay. 36 and a 16th. Ooh, I almost messed it up.
The next morning I woke up and started painting the girls' dresser. You know I hate to paint, and my goal for this week was to have the screen framed out and hung, and then the girls' dresser painted, the floor painted, and maybe the beds even set up.
Or is that okay right there? Yeah.
One evening, Rose and I got down and added the rub and buff to the frame. So we spray painted it gold, and then we took the rub and buff and just dabbed it all over the trim. Very easy. In fact, once I did one piece, Rose knew exactly what to do. We got the rub and buff on, which is the antique gold, I think. But it was still a little bit too gold. It needed to be darkened. So Rose went into the den and grabbed the girls' paint and found I think it's like a brown umber color. And we added that to it as well. And it turned out beautiful, old, and perfect.
That's fine.
Tara told me to
really
add
don't like
some,
that.
I guess, L-shaped brackets to the corners of the frame to hold it together. And so that's what I went to Lowe's for. Grab some L brackets. I think that's what you call them. I grabbed some shorter screws so the screws wouldn't go through the frame. Screwed them together, and then I added some wood glue as well. And that pulled the frame together perfect. Now I will have to add some wood filler to the seams just to make it seamless, but honestly, it was sturdy and held together so easy and very, very easy. I literally did it in my living room floor with a screwdriver in less than 10 minutes. And so the next day, I added some wood filler and let it dry overnight. And then we're going to come back and sand it down. And then Titus is going to hang the screen and we'll see how it turns out. I had originally only added one L bracket to the four corners of the frame, and then I realized I needed to add two to each corner. I had added one L bracket to the corners of the frame and realized that I needed two to each corner, so I did that. And then at this point I was using command strips to connect the frame to the screen, and I tried that and I decided to not go that route, and I had seen the elastic on the frame DIY, and so I decided to order some elastic and try that DIY and that way of connecting the frame to the screen. So we'll see how that turns out. I have a thrift haul for you. I am in the girls' room, and as you can see, we're painting the dresser, and that's all ready to be put in. Well, it's a thrift haul and a new haul as well for the girls' room. This is a green and kind of a creamy white pleated lamp. And one of the favorite features on this lamp is the terracotta little etching on the bottom of this lamp. And then I picked up these beautiful picture frames for the girls' bedroom as well. And they're so cute. They stand like this with a little brass backing, and I just think they're so vintage looking. This is by Studio McGee. This is by Hearth and Hand. And then I thrifted this tiny basket Facebook Marketplace for my sister-in-law for $10. I have this faux plant right here. This is one of my favorite purchases, and I've had this plant for several years, and it just fits in. It's so cute in this little tiny planter. I would like to put a new plant in this, but I don't know. The girls are wanting live plants in their room, so that's either going to have this little plant in there or the live plant. I thrifted this basket for $10 as well from my sister-in-law off Facebook Marketplace. It has a beautiful scallop detail all around the edge, so I thought I could put a white thrifted plate, which I have right here that I thrifted for pennies. I could add the plate inside the basket, so that way if the water overflows a bit, it's not going to run the dresser underneath. Keeping it very simple, and I love mixing my modern with my vintage for a really pretty moody layered look in our home. And so I think this is going to be just perfect. This gingham lampshade, kind of a vintage brass frame, then your cute little cottagey basket, and then this is kind of a modern look to me. This is my thrift haul and my new purchase haul as well. We are hanging the girls' screen today, hopefully, and then pushing the dresser inside and waiting for the rug, setting the beds up, and then the fun part of decorating with all the thrifted decor I have found and make this room really sweet and simple. It's a couple days later, and I first was going to try to use command strips to keep the frame next to the screen, but I didn't feel like that was sturdy enough. It felt wobbly. So I decided to try the elastic method or DIY that I have seen done as well. I ordered the elastic off Amazon for about $5, came in a really nice roll, and I stapled it to the frame, which took like 2 minutes. I sanded down the wood filler, added a bit more rub and buff and the brown umber color to the corners, and it turned out seamless. It turned out really pretty and very sturdy. And the only reason this project takes a couple days is because you're letting the wood filler dry, you're busy like I was, but it really only takes about 15 minutes to do all of this. It's Saturday night, and Titus is hanging the screen against the wall. That is the chip right there, and I just took a command strip and put it to the back of the screen. We also had our electrician come and do a plug-in behind the screen So no cords were hanging. It was very nice and neat. I painted the girls' dresser. Violet added some wallpaper to the drawers, and we're getting drawer organizers for that as well. And she did a good job. And I figure letting them do projects like this is good for them. It's the next morning, and you take the elastic and just put it behind the screen, and your frame snaps into place and holds securely. I also took a bit of rub and buff and rub and buff the edge of the screen so it looks seamless and part of the frame. And that way, when you walk in the room sideways, it looks like one big frame and you can't tell the difference. And it's really beautiful. This project was easy, inexpensive, and made the room so cozy for fall.